Hello! Welcome back to Daily English Talk.
Hi, everyone. We're so happy you're here.
I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. On this channel, we help you practice real, everyday English.
Please, if you like our videos, help us out by liking this video and subscribing to our channel.
Yes, it really helps. Thank you. Today, we are going to talk about a very common topic.
That's right. Today we are talking about your workday. We will share about our jobs and our daily routines.
Let's get started.
So, Jack, how are you today?
I'm good, Emma. Little tired, but good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. You said you're a little tired? Why's that?
Well, I woke up early today. My cat decided to sing at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh no, your cat sings?
Well, he meows very loudly. It was a concert just for me.
That's funny. My dog just sleeps. He loves sleeping.
You are lucky. So, what did you do this weekend? Anything fun?
Yes, I went for a walk in the park. The weather was beautiful. And I read a very good book.
That sounds nice and quiet. My weekend was the opposite. I visited my family. It was loud, but very fun.
I love visiting family. Well, I'm happy you are here now, even if you are a little tired.
Me too. I'm ready to talk about work.
Okay, so let's talk about our work days. Jack, what do you do? What is your job?
I work in an office. My job is, let's see, I work with computers. I am a customer support specialist.
A customer support specialist? That sounds interesting. What does that mean?
It means I help people who use our company's product. If they have a problem, they call me or send me an email, and I try to help them.
Oh, so you talk to many different people every day.
Yes, exactly. Every day is a little different because every person has a different problem. Sometimes the problems are easy, sometimes they are not so easy.
I understand. So you have a desk job.
A desk job? What does that mean?
It means you sit at a desk for your work. You work in an office.
Ah, yes, I have a very typical desk job. I sit at my desk from 9 to 5.
9 to 5. That's a common phrase.
Yes, it means from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Those are my working hours. What about you? You're a teacher, right?
That's right. I am an English teacher, but my hours are different. My classes start at 8:30 in the morning.
Oh, that is early. Do you like getting up early?
Actually, I do. I am a morning person. I love the quiet morning time. I usually get up at 6 a.m.
6 a.m. Wow. I am not a morning person. I get up at 7:30, and I need 2 cups of coffee to start my day. I am like a robot before coffee.
I understand. I drink tea in the morning. So, tell me about your typical day. What do you do first when you get to the office?
Okay. First, I walk to my desk. I say good morning to my colleagues.
Colleagues? That's a good word.
Yes, colleagues are the people you work with. My colleague Sarah sits next to me. We always talk for a few minutes in the morning.
That's nice. It's good to have friends at work.
It is. Then I turn on my computer. It is an old computer, so it takes a long time to start. I use this time to check my notebook.
You have a notebook?
Yes, a paper notebook. I write my tasks for the day there. Old style, I know. After my computer is ready, I check my emails. I always have many, many emails.
How many emails?
Sometimes 20 or 30 new emails every morning. It's a lot.
Oh my, that is a lot. What do you do with all of them?
I read them quickly. Some are from my boss, some are from colleagues, many are from customers with problems. I answer the easy ones first.
That seems like a good system. Do you have a morning meeting?
Yes. At 10 a.m., we have a short meeting with our team.
What is a team meeting like?
Our team leader, David, talks about the day. He tells us about any new information. Sometimes we discuss difficult problems from the previous day. The meetings are usually 15 minutes, short and simple.
That's good. My teacher meetings are sometimes 1 hour. It's very long.
1 hour? Oh no. After my meeting, I start with the customer calls. The phone starts ringing, and my real work begins.
Are the customers usually nice?
Most are very nice. They are happy to get help, but sometimes people are angry. They shout. That is the difficult part of my job.
What do you do when a customer is angry?
I listen. I let them talk. I say, I understand. I am here to help you. It is important to be calm and friendly.
That must be hard. You are very patient.
I try to be. After a few calls, it is usually time for a coffee break. I always get a coffee with my friend, Tom, from another department.
What do you talk about with Tom?
Oh, we talk about everything. We talk about TV shows, about our weekend plans, sometimes about work problems. It's a nice break.
I have a short break at 10:32. I usually have a snack and check my phone.
What snack do you like?
I often have an apple or some cookies. Sometimes the other teachers bring cakes. That is a good day.
I love cake at work. So, after my coffee break, I go back to my desk. I have more emails and more phone calls. Before lunch, I need to write a report.
Reports? What are those?
Reports are documents. I write about the problems I solved in the morning. I write how many calls I answered. My boss likes to see the numbers.
I see. So you work at your desk until lunchtime?
Exactly. I usually have lunch at about 12:30.
Where do you have lunch?
Sometimes I eat in the office cafeteria with my colleagues. The food is okay there. Sometimes I bring my lunch from home and eat at my desk while watching a video on my phone.
Is it healthy to eat at your desk?
Probably not, but it is quiet. What about you? When do you have lunch?
My lunch break is at 12 o'clock. I eat in the teacher's room. I always bring my lunch from home. It's cheaper and healthier.
What did you bring for lunch today?
Today, I had a chicken salad. It was good. What did you have?
Today, I brought a sandwich and an apple. It was okay, but a little boring. I need to learn to cook more interesting food.
So, after lunch, what do you do? Do you feel tired?
Oh, yes. I always feel tired after lunch. We call it the afternoon slump. So I start the afternoon with more coffee.
You drink a lot of coffee.
I know, it's a problem, but it helps. In the afternoon, I often have video calls with clients.
With who?
With clients. Clients are the people who buy things from our company. Sometimes their problems are more complicated, so we need a video call to share our screens.
Is that difficult?
Sometimes. I need to speak very clearly and listen carefully. But it's interesting. I like seeing the people I talk to.
My afternoons are busy with students. They ask many good questions, but sometimes they are sleepy after lunch.
How do you make your lessons interesting in the afternoon?
I try to use games or videos. I ask them to stand up and move sometimes. It helps with the energy.
That's a good idea. Maybe I should ask my clients to play a game.
That would be funny. When do you finish work? My last class finishes at 3:30. Then I have to prepare for the next day. I write on the board, I copy papers, I check homework. I usually leave school at around 4:15.
That's a nice time to finish. I finish at 5 p.m., but sometimes I work a little later if I have a lot of work.
Oh, that's a long day.
It can be. But usually at 5 p.m., I close my computer, I say goodbye, see you tomorrow to my colleagues, and then I go home.
And then you have your commute.
My commute? You remember that word.
Of course. Commute is the travel between your home and your work. How long is your commute?
My commute is about 30 minutes by bus. I don't like it when the bus is full of people, but when I get a seat, it's okay.
What do you do on the bus?
I usually listen to music. Sometimes I listen to an audiobook, or I just look out the window and think about my day.
That sounds peaceful. My commute is shorter. I walk to school. It takes about 15 minutes. I like it. It is my exercise for the day.
Walking is nice. I should walk more.
So when you get home, what is the first thing you do?
The first thing, I take off my shoes and my work clothes. I put on comfortable clothes. Then I relax for a few minutes on the sofa. I am very tired after work and the bus.
Me too. I often make a cup of tea and sit down for 5 minutes of quiet time.
Do you cook dinner when you get home?
Yes, I usually cook a simple dinner. Pasta or rice with vegetables. Something fast. Sometimes, if I am very tired, I order food. Maybe pizza.
I understand. I often order food too, maybe 2 times a week. Cooking is a lot of work after a long day.
It really is. So, Jack, do you like your job?
That's a big question. Yes, I do like it. It is sometimes boring or stressful, but my colleagues are nice and the work is interesting. I like helping people solve their problems. What about you? Do you like teaching?
I love it. It is tiring, and sometimes the students are difficult, but it is also very rewarding.
Rewarding? What does that mean?
It means it makes me feel good. It feels important and valuable. When a student says, "Thank you, teacher, I understand now." That is the best feeling.
That's a great feeling. I feel the same sometimes when a customer is very happy and thanks me for my help.
Exactly. Every job has good parts and bad parts.
For example, a bad part for me is when my computer is slow.
Oh, it is so frustrating.
I click and I wait. I click and I wait.
I know that feeling. Or when the internet is slow at school. I want to show a video and it stops every 2 seconds. The students get very impatient.
Technology is great when it works.
So true. What is the best part of your day at work?
The best part? I think it is lunchtime. I enjoy talking and laughing with my friends at work. It doesn't feel like work then. Also, I like the feeling at 5 p.m. when I finish everything.
That's nice. For me, the best part is when a student understands a difficult topic, or when we have a fun activity and everyone is laughing and learning.
I bet. Okay, what is the most difficult part of your day?
The most difficult part is when students are not interested. They look out the window or talk to their friends. It is hard to teach them, and it makes me a little sad.
I understand. For me, the most difficult part is a big problem with a client that I cannot solve quickly. Or when 3 phones ring at the same time. That can be very stressful.
But you always find a solution, right?
I try. We always try. Sometimes I need to ask my boss for help, and that is okay. It's good to work in a team.
Yes, I agree. I often ask other teachers for advice. It's very helpful. Okay, let's talk about the weekend. Do you think about work on the weekend?
I try not to, but sometimes I need to prepare lessons for the next week. Maybe for 2 or 3 hours on Sunday. What about you?
No, I don't. On Friday, I close my computer and I forget about work until Monday morning. For me, the weekend is for rest and fun.
That is a very healthy habit. I should learn from you.
I think so. Work is important, but free time is important too. We need to rest.
I agree completely.
You know, Emma, we used a lot of useful words today when we talked about our jobs.
We did. It might be helpful to go over some of them again, to help everyone remember.
A mini vocabulary review. I like that idea. Should we start with one of the first words I said? How about colleagues?
Oh, that's a perfect word to start with. Colleagues. So what does it mean, Jack?
Well, colleagues are the people you work with. They are not your friends from outside, but the people in your office or your school who do a similar job.
That's right. For example, the other teachers at my school are my colleagues, and Sarah, who sits next to you, is your colleague.
Exactly. So you can say, I am going to lunch with my colleagues, or I need to ask my colleague a question.
It's a much better word than just people from work. It sounds more professional.
Okay, next word. You mentioned this one, Emma. Commute.
Ah, yes, the commute. This is a very important word for anyone who has a job. The commute is the journey between your home and your workplace.
So it's not the work itself, it's the travel to and from work. My commute is 30 minutes by bus.
And my commute is a 15-minute walk. A commute can be long or short. It can be by car, by train, by bus, or on foot.
People often say, I have a long commute, which means they spend a lot of time traveling to work. It can be tiring.
Definitely. Okay, my turn for a word. Let's talk about schedule.
Schedule. Oh, yes, we talked about our daily schedule. What does schedule mean?
Your schedule is your plan for your day or your week. It tells you what you are doing and when you are doing it.
So, my calendar on the computer is my schedule. It says meeting at 10 a.m. and lunch at 12:30.
Yes! And my teaching schedule shows my classes, 8:30 a.m., 10 a.m., and so on. You can also use it as a verb. You can say, I have a meeting scheduled for 2 p.m.
That's helpful. So, if someone asks, what's your schedule like today, they want to know your plan for the day.
Perfect. Now, a word you said that is very important for office work. Report.
Reports. I don't love them, but they are important. A report is a formal document that gives information about something.
Can you give an example?
Of course. At the end of the day, I write a short report. I write how many phone calls I answered and what the common problems were. My boss reads the report to understand our work.
So it's a summary of information. Students write book reports, scientists write research reports. It's a very common word.
It is. Okay, let's think of another one. How about deadline? I didn't say it before, but it's a very, very important word at work.
Oh, deadline. Yes, that's a crucial one. What is a deadline, Jack?
A deadline is the final day or time when you must finish something. It is the last possible date.
For example, if my boss says, the report deadline is next Friday, it means I must finish the report by Friday.
Yes, and you cannot be late. If you are late, you miss the deadline, and that is not good.
No, it's not. So you often hear people say, I'm busy because I have a deadline, or I'm working hard to meet the deadline.
To meet a deadline means to finish the work on time. It's a very common phrase.
Let's do one more word. How about full-time?
Full-time. That's a good one to know when you talk about jobs. A full-time job is a job where you work many hours a week, usually around 35 to 40 hours a week.
Like your job from 9 to 5 or my job as a teacher. These are full-time jobs.
And the opposite is a part-time job, where you work fewer hours, maybe only 15 or 20 hours a week.
Many students have part-time jobs, so you can say, I work full-time, or I have a part-time job at a cafe.
Exactly. So to review, we talked about colleagues, commute, schedule, report, deadline, and full-time.
That's a very good list of words for talking about work. I hope that was helpful for everyone to hear them again.
Me too. It was helpful for me too. Now I know how to explain my job better.
Learning English is all about repeating and practicing. Okay, Jack, we've been talking for quite a while. I think we shared a lot about our lives.
We really did. It was a great conversation. But now it's probably time to summarize what we talked about for our viewers.
Absolutely. So, today's main topic was talking about your daily workday. We wanted to show everyone how to describe their daily routine at work using simple and clear English.
That's right. We started by talking about our jobs. I said I'm a customer support specialist, which means I help customers with their problems on the phone and by email.
And I reminded everyone that I'm an English teacher. We talked about our different start times. You start at 9 a.m., and I start my classes at 8:30 a.m.
We also use that great phrase, a desk job, for people like me who work mainly at a computer in an office.
Then we walked through a typical day, step by step. We used a lot of useful time words. Do you remember, Jack?
I do. We talked about the morning, first thing when we get to work. Then we had our morning meeting or team meeting at 10 a.m.
And then we both have a coffee break or a short break before continuing our work.
Then, of course, lunchtime or lunch break. For me, that's around 12:30, and for you, it's at 12.
After lunch, we go into the afternoon. We both agreed that sometimes we feel a little tired then, the afternoon slump.
And finally, we talked about finishing work. You leave school around 4:15, and I finish work or close my computer at 5 p.m.
And we can't forget the very important word we discussed, the commute. That's the journey home.
Right, my commute is by bus, and yours is a walk. We also covered some really key vocabulary words we use at work.
We did a whole section on that. We talked about colleagues, which are the people we work with.
And schedule, which is our plan for the day.
Reports, which are the documents we write.
And a very important one, deadline, which is the final time you have to finish something.
And finally, we described our jobs as full-time jobs.
I think if you can use all these words, you can describe your own workday very well.
I think so too. The goal is to help you feel confident talking about your own life in English.
And now it's your turn to practice. It's time for the best part of the video, the question of the day.
We love reading your answers in the comments. It helps you practice writing, and it helps our community grow.
So today's question is all about you and your work. But we know not everyone has a job, so we have two questions for you.
That's right. So our first question is, what is your job? Describe one thing you do every day at work.
And if you are a student or if you don't have a job right now, your question is, what is your dream job? Why do you like that job?
So, for example, if you are a chef, you can write, I am a chef. I cook food every day.
Or if your dream job is to be a doctor, you can write, my dream job is a doctor. I like to help people.
You can write a short sentence or a long paragraph. Any practice is good practice.
Please try to use one of the words we learned today if you can. Maybe you can use the word colleague or schedule. But it's okay if you don't. Just try your best.
We will be reading the comments, and we always try to reply to as many as we can. We love to see your answers from all over the world.
It's the most exciting part of our week. So please, take a moment and write a comment. Say hello and tell us about your work or your dreams.
Before we go, we want to thank you for spending this time with us. We know you are busy, and we are so happy you chose to practice your English with us today.
Yes, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please let us know by giving it a like. It really helps us.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button and the little bell. That way, you won't miss our next conversation. So from both of us here at Daily English Talk, keep practicing and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn.
Have a wonderful day, a great week, and we will see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.